Wednesday, we got, we saw another pimple appear on the face of Jamaican politics. Or perhaps I should say, what appears to be a pimple. Could be worse. You may think it will mature into a black head or a white head. It could be mistaken. It could be chicken pox. First sign. If it's a white head or a black head, easy. Let it mature. Squeeze it. Move on. It's gone. If it's chicken pox, and if it's the first sign of the chicken pox, it's gonna leave a scar. And so we wonder if the face of Jamaica's politics will prove to have been scarred by what happened, what came to the public's attention rather, on Wednesday. And so, Nora, play for me that video with the East Portland MP, Mr. Isat Buchanan. So, as I noted, could be a little bump on the face, could be a white head, could be a black head, could be chicken pox. And like so many Jamaicans, I had chicken pox, and unfortunately, I had it when I was a big man. It struck me down before the 2018 FIFA World Cup, the week before, and I had to double up my treatment and everything because I was not going to miss that for the world. We were broadcasting and everything. Ready now, Kevin? All right. They're trying to get that in order. So let me tell you then why they get that in order. Kevin, you just killed the sound clash a while ago, youth. Cheese and peas. All right, Nora says she has it now. Gosh, thank you. Let's go.
Open support was given for what is criminal
No,
conduct.
not that. I said,
Yeah. Choppy line pan them.
And even a recommendation was made as to what
We never up there. Take all 1 foot on the bed, broke it off and carry it up there and say, see where left here? Because anybody were in a that the place there where them bulldoze, you have to get back a house out of government.
not it. That's not it. Kevin, I'm going to send the right one to you. I'm going to send the right one to you. That's not it. That what you're playing is a mashup of thing that contains reporting from elsewhere. I don't want that because we did our own reporting. So I asked for our reporting to be put in because I'm promoting our reporting. I just sent to you the video that I wanted to play. Thank you. All right, so they're lining it up. So it's the unedited version of, well, the snippet, undisturbed, of Mr. Buchanan talking on, well, it came to the public's attention on Wednesday. And I'm just trying to play for you the entirety of the snippet before we move further. So, waiting for it to come up. All right, we're ready now. Let's go.
To the people of Trelawny who wake up and then bulldoze your house, I feel your pain. Because you see the Prime Minister, him have to lift up off of some house and him have to give you. And when him put him plaque on the house, then when him have to give you back, rip it off when you're done, because if them not give you back house, Tova can't win down there. Right now, anywhere should there be a twep. Prime Minister have to go keep cabinet meeting and know so she have to give you back in the house. And we now ease up off of them neck. Because government are creatures of the Constitution. And the human rights run this, the humans run this. Wanna bet me if you think I lie, me I tell. So somehow we never up there. Take all 1 foot on the bed, broke it off and carry it up there and say, see where left here? Yeah. Choppy line pan them, cause anybody where in a that the place there where them bulldoze, you have to get back a house out of government. And it now gonna be no trailer. I bet say you get land. I bet you know that. Yeah. So make could be dialectic thinkers now. And then you can screen record this and make Andrew know say I have to find house and land for you now. And we'll never see back Trelawney. And watch. I go buy one green suit and put it down. But it's the truth, I know them like make video of me and say I hope I'm work. But I go buy one green suit and everybody when them I get them house, I go show up in my one green suit and say I told you so. Yeah man, miss it so. So when you think on the body, when you don't have a clue, animal farm this. When you performative government, land is for the people. Wake the town and tell the people of Sri Lanka, St. Thomas to, you see this bulldozing thing are the last days of it. And if you talk to people like them are human beings, and you must treat people with respect, whether they have teeth, whether they have money. The Constitution is for the least among us. It is for us, by us. Yeah? We not get distracted about leaked emails. After we having a Pegasus and a leak email count and want to go a CCJ count now wicked. You think we don't know what going about, we will not be distracted. So we go on. So before the start of the campaign, I got to lift up out of this. But I bet you no matter what happens this day, all those people have to get house from the government. This is embarrassing.
So says the MP for East Portland and the opposition spokesman on, was it human rights? Constitutional matters? Isat Buchanan. We're approaching the break, so let's take the break and come back clean. Voice note. And here's how I'm going to deal with this now. The obvious thing to send to focus on is the part about those who weren't there, those who weren't affected by the Cooper's Pen bulldozing, have been instructed to break off the foot of a bed or a foot from a bed, take it to Cooper's Pen, and tell those assessing damage suffered by those who were victims of the Cooper's Pen demolition, pass yourself off as one of those victims so that you can get compensation for damage you really did not suffer. And in so doing, you would have chopped the government, you would have scammed the government. Because given that other people suffered damage, you should capitalize on whatever compensation that may be paid to the victims. Capitalize on that. Short circuit the system. Lie. Finesse the situation. Scam. Chop the line by telling a lie that you were a victim and claiming a share of the benefit. Now, perhaps no thought was given to the fact that the more people who suffered damage perhaps shrinks the size of their share of the compensation pie. Therefore, if 30 people suffered damage or sustained damage to their property, and the pie would have been shared in 30 slices, if 10 more or 30 more who did not suffer damage claim that they did suffer damage, then no 60 pie have to go share, So those who are championing social justice and say they're standing for the people, don't you realize that what you're encouraging is for those who suffered legitimate damage to get less in compensation? How we say we intelligent? Isn't that obvious? And I know many people are going to speak and say the obvious thing. Boy, look what we come to. We have elected representatives, member of parliament, a person who's a member of the government in waiting, saying these things, encouraging openly, encouraging criminality, and endorsing the side of ethics, unethical conduct. What kind of upside down world is this when a lawmaker encourages the corruption of a possible compensation arrangement, compensation scheme, just because the money belongs to government? And then inherent in that again is a lack of understanding of who resources belong to. There is no such thing as government money. Never has been, never will be. All money held by government belongs to the people. A few with money. They administer it on our behalf. There's no such thing as government money. So if you in your mind chop them, scam them, thief because of government money, you're stealing from yourself. And that is the most obvious thing for me. When I listened, I said, but what? And then, to us here who are upset that a lawmaker says this, the world exists because of partnerships. We have partners in security, national security, partners on the economic front, healthcare, education, partners for everything that we have to do. You have a set of people who believe that there is a country that exists independent of everybody else. No help from nobody, don't need anything. It's just self-sufficiency. They do their own thing and they are friendless because they choose to be so, and they're happy. And not even North Korea, because it has its allies, which is why it can be what it is, because it has some serious countries, a handful, but some real serious countries as its allies. Even they have allies. And in a day and an age when countries put a lot into building international relationships, there are some who would have us tell every international partner we have to sod off, to go fly a kite, as one of our commenters said the other day. Go kick rocks. Move, what's it not. Because we can go it alone, and the only way to prove that we are truly independent is to go it alone. No international partner, no foreign relations, nobody to suggest anything about anything we are doing, because we can do it by ourselves, because there exists in history countries that have done just that. Can I say balderdash again? I think it's played out, so I won't. So I say the international partnership. I mentioned that line to say our partners in Ligani at the U.S. Embassy there, hearing a lawmaker say what was said, hearing at 10:23 p.m. a.m. on this day in sports, no comment from the party that the legislators are part of, whether the parliamentary caucus or the party itself, no word of condemnation. What are they building into the narrative about the kind of country that we are if the government in waiting is openly supporting criminality? A representative of the government in waiting is supporting criminality, and the party itself is saying nothing. Must that not be treated as an endorsement? And I know silence doesn't mean consent. I don't believe in that. But isn't it a reasonable inference to draw? And then there's this. In a situation where a child lives in a household with parents or with adults, parents or guardians, and the child steps out of line, the argument will come down to, okay, but did the child really step out of line if the parents don't see what the child did as stepping out of a line? So maybe you outside with your standards see what happened as a violation, as a serious infraction, as the child stepping out of line, but there are no standards in the household, so the parents don't see it the same way. We have to ask the question, Mr. Golding, Mark Jefferson Golding, in your view, has Isat Buchanan stepped out of line? Does the PNP see what he says as injurious? Does it condemn it? Does it see nothing wrong with what he says? Does it endorse the sentiment? Because using the same parent, guardian, child line, I don't think that we should use time condemning Isat Buchanan. I think we should use the energy to ask serious questions of Mark Jefferson Golding. And why do I say that? Well, Isat Buchanan's position as Member of Parliament is unassailable. Only the constituents can remove him from that position. No guy can. That's settled. He's a member of the shadow cabinet. And he's a member of the PNP. Those two things can be impacted by the actions of those who lead the PNP and who lead the parliamentary opposition. So rather than use time and waste time talk about I said this and him said it and him whatever, leave that alone. Ask of Mark Jefferson Golding, sir, you comfortable with that? And you think that Jamaica should accept that and roll with it? And how do we reconcile Jamaicans being expected to accept what he said and roll with it, and you're going to take no action because you see necessary for no action? How are we to reconcile all that when in late February 2024 Dennis Meadows was jocked off the North Trelawney racehorse because he was at a campaign event and he endorsed chopping? Now I know Meadows was talking directly to, appeared to be talking directly to lottery scammers. And Isat Buchanan was not talking about lottery scammers. But the commonality is that both of them were talking about chopping. Meadows from scammers chopping and using the proceeds to better themselves. And Buchanan saying it's the same chopping behavior and mentality that should cause people to tell lies that they suffered, their property was damaged in the Cooper Spend demolition, so they can claim compensation from government. It's the same thing from that perspective. So I'm not, roasting any individual named Isat Buchanan this morning. It's Mark Golding I'm asking. The sentiment around the Meadows decision, how does it differ from what Buchanan is saying? And even if the Meadows situation never happened, even if what Isat Buchanan did is posted in a vacuum, it exists alone, nothing revolving around, you had said nothing before to use as a basis for expected action. Even by itself, are you comfortable with the comments? Do you endorse the comments? Is it necessary for you to take action against Mr. Buchanan? Does he retain your confidence as a member of the shadow cabinet? Do you think that the PNP ought to tell Jamaica what it thinks about those considered comments from the Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland. And I think that those are reasonable questions to ask Mark Golding this morning. In my view, those comments should not come from a Member of Parliament. In my view, chopping should not be encouraged. Law breaking like that should not be encouraged. And from where I sit, you can't tell me that the encouraging of law breaking in this regard is something virtuous, because the money that you will get wrongfully is government money. That's just, And there's this whole bright things, who bright and who bright and who bright. Jamaica and seeking who is bright, you know. Any man can go on a platform and say, I'm brighter than the next man, and I'm brighter than the next one, and I'm bright and bright and bright. But that's not the true proof. It's the people, the audience. What do they think? Do they see brightness in you telling people to steal from themselves? Because that's exactly what is happening. I wish I had a piece of cardboard. I would draw a pie chart on it. I draw 40 slices representing each of the 40 families whose properties were damaged. And I'd use a holding figure and say, okay, the compensation would amount to this. And this is the pool from which the 40 will get compensated. And then I'll add 20 more for the liars that have been encouraged to come forward and falsely claim compensation. And in so doing, show demonstrably how the endorsement of the chopping of the Cooper's Pen compensation, if and when it should happen, is nonsense. And Mr. Buchanan encourages dialectic thinking, which is, putting opposing views together and examining them, rationalizing in making an argument. Well, that's what I have just done. It's purely dialectic. And it's shocking that nothing has come at 10:31 a.m. the morning after. But then again, who am I fooling? What position of strength is Mr. Golding in to be able to hold any member of the PNP to account who says things that really and truly the party ought not to associate itself with, and which the party should distance itself with? Two different processes. Unfortunately for Mr. Golding, he's in a position now where he has to be building a coalition to support his continued occupation of the seat of president of the PNP. And perhaps that weighs so heavily that things like these can go said but not addressed. And politics is a hell of a thing, because it's a hell of a position to be in. Would he say to the public that, Jamaica, my hands are tied? Of course, practically he can't say that. But is that really the case? What a country. What a time. Break time.